Awesome Artist. Today we're going to be doing another comic haul, and I'm going to be showing off a few items I got in the mail too, and I've got some other random things as well that I'll be showing off. So I'll kind of break up a little bit of this box. I'll probably take a break in the middle, show some other things, and then get back to it and see where that leaves us. So, first of all, we have Batman number 107. And this is the second part of the story that's taken place after all the future state stuff. So, Scarecrow is the central character in this arc. However, I believe this isn't the same Scarecrow, maybe. Because I know there is something with like the Infinity Frontier or some weird confusing crap where apparently a bunch of people died in Arkham or something. And I think some of Batman's Rogues Gallery was included, but I'm not 100% clear on that. I haven't gone back to read that book, even though I do have it. I haven't read it yet, so mainly reading the regular Batman takes precedent over all my other readings that I do. And then after I read those, I kind of work through my stack. So yeah, the arc continues to be nice and solid here, and lots of interesting things as far as just the story in general. And then we have the big Fortnite miniseries coming out. Each issue will have DLC inside of it, so that's a big thing about it. And then I think in this issue there's a new character that premieres. Let me see if I can find them. That might not be in this one, but there's supposed to be another one. And then there's a backup story in here too, it looks like. I think her name is like Mistress Miracle or something weird. She looks very cyberpunk-esque, but I don't know. And then here's the normal cover for the book. Next we have Batman Urban Legends number 2. And the main focal point of this book here, I would say, is certainly the story being written by Chip Zdarsky here. It's about Red Hood. And basically in the previous issue he crossed the line. And now he's trying to deal with the repercussions of what he did. Batman tries to be pretty black and white with his actions, so he, I will suspect, will not be very understanding if he finds out what the Red Hood has done. But I would certainly say that this story is the star of the book. Then there's another story in here. It looks like about Oracle. Very kind of polar opposite in the art style here, very bright. And then it looks like there's another story here in the back, and I'm not sure what to make of it. It's an outsider story. And I never have been following the Outsider series, so it got canceled a while back, I think. just kind of want to keep it going. So the only way to do that, I guess, is to shoehorn it in other books, maybe. And then we have a third story, or fourth story. I forgot how to count. Sorry about that. Featuring Grifter. So there's his iconic mask there. And he's kind of just playing both sides in the story. Almost like a double agent sort of thing. He's been contacted to infiltrate Lucius's job, which I guess is Wayne Industries, but I think that's something else now. Let's see what this next one is here. This is the Joker number 2. This Punchline variant cover there. And the premise right now is basically Gordon has been contacted to go on an all-out manhunt for the Joker, and being tasked to actually kill him. Since Gordon has had such a spotty history with the Joker, he is considering it, even though killing isn't certainly something he's about. So it looks like maybe Batman got wind of it and he's gonna try to persuade him not to do it, but to rather just do what he always does, is to locate him. Hard to say. And then there's a backup story, I think, about Punchline. Takes place in Blackgate. And Harper Row is back, which I haven't seen her in a while. Created by Scott Snyder way back in the beginning of the New 52 run of Batman. Next we have Challenge of the Super Sons number 1, which I'm so glad. This dynamic, I really enjoyed them as kids interacting and stuff. And that's what I really got bummed out about whenever Bendis took over to write Superman as he aged up Jonathan Kent. And now this is just kind of one of those in between the cracks sort of storylines. And I will be honest, the previous Super Sons miniseries, not the first one, but the second one they did, I wasn't a big fan of. So hopefully this one is better than that second miniseries they did. But yeah, I love the art and I love the interactions with them here, so. Next we have Superman number 30. we're seeing more highlights of family dynamics, so that's good. That's what I really enjoyed about Tomasi and Gleason's run, is really seeing kind of these pure moments between Clark and his family and all this sort of stuff. So, but as I've said, I think that this story arc sets up how he dies and how his son takes over. We'll do this one and then we'll switch gears to some of the miscellaneous items. So we have Noctera number 2. This is Scott Snyder's independent thing he did with Tony S. Daniel. I think only the first issue was part of the Kickstarter they had done, so I don't know if anyone has actually read this particular part of the story yet. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't remember a ton about it, but I love the art a whole lot. Kind of darkness is the enemy here. I'm trying to remember. I know the main bad guy is solid, like pitch black. He looks like a walking shadow, more or less. And I'm trying to remember. I think if you're in the darkness for too long, you actually get infected by it. Yeah, this whole page is solid black here. And once you start to have like black spots on your gums, and that means you're like gonna die and get overtaken by it soon or something. Alright, so next we got, this is the Spawn 10 remaster by Dave Sim. And I'm sure I've told you all this before. Spawn number 10 was my first interaction here with the character Cerebus. My brother had bought this at a mall in Baton Rouge, I believe, if I remember. There was a comic shop in there. And yeah, I was just completely blown away by this particular image here, seeing all these known superheroes behind bars and not really understanding. But the story is all about comic book creators making characters and basically not reaping any benefits from it other than saying, hey, my character is in a DC comic or whatever. So, really important, especially as creators, to kind of learn and be aware of that so you're not taken advantage of. And I mean, it goes all the way back to the beginning with Superman's creators and stuff. So, but what Dave Sim has done is he has went ahead, and the whole book is in black and white. As I don't know if many of you know, Cerebus was a totally black and white independent book, and so it's all black and white now. And then what he did is he redrew all of the images where his character let me get to the other one here. He redrew his portions here. And then he even redrew Spawn in a couple instances here. So they're kind of minuscule differences. But they are differences nonetheless. See, there's his one there, and this is Todd's. So it's more or less splitting hairs to some of it here. But, so that's what Dave has done. Dave went ahead and redrew essentially all of his Cerebus images in this book here and inserted them just drawing Spawn himself here, other than I think that this particular area has significance to Dave's sim, but I don't know what it is exactly. But yeah, and then Spawn goes into this house here and meets this child and stuff, so. And yeah, so that's that. And then there's like bonus material on the back. This shows all his liner notes for when he creates a book. This shows his notes in particular for writing that Spawn number 10 story. I guess this is his process with any book he does with the dialogue and stuff. So, I think more than anything, this was kind of Dave's way to not just write the story, but actually be involved in the artistic process. So, and then here's some of the covers and stuff. Concept one, I like this one a lot with the cape there. Making it soft instead of like the hard, jagged edges we typically see on Spawn. And then here's a fun Cerebus image here, which I guess was in a Spawn book number 4, but I had never seen the original, so. And then there's like a secondary supplemental book you could buy for extra that highlights Dave's redrawing specifically, and each one's labeled which panel it's redrawn for. So yeah, this goes through everything but shows it in greater blown up detail. And then still shows some of the preliminaries, and these are the cards that are packed in. I'll show you those in a second. This is the art for those. Some more roughs here. So yeah, the campaign came with a bunch of extras here. So I've been enjoying getting all these little enamel pins. So here's a Cerebus Spawn enamel pin. And then we have the little cards here, which almost look Frank Miller-esque a little bit in the kind of squarish style. And then there's a Spawn one done in his style. Couple of them. And then the back show, this particular campaign, they did one for High Society as well, and I have all those cards, I believe. I don't know why this number is so high, though. It goes 21 and then 28. I'm not sure. But I think I've got them all. And then it came with a Sarah Spawn sticker. And I don't know if this is the same sticker I already have for the remastered number 1, or if this is a new one or not. But so yeah, a couple nice sticker, vinyl stickers, I suppose. And then some postcards. And then the backs will show this. One more card here. 23. And then another. Yeah, so that's all that. Let me get this out of the way. And this was a campaign that was launched, like, I think it was actually 3 years ago. So, took him quite a bit to get this done. And he was starting up his own comic company too, Allegiance Arts. But he was working on that after he had raised released funds for this project, so people were frustrated, feeling like he used funds for that company instead of on this book. And who really knows? I'm just glad that the book finally came. And I really only have one gripe with the book. This cover here is great, but unfortunately this is a dust jacket here, right? You take this dust jacket off, and the interior cover here is paper thin as the stock being used on the rest of the book. So I just wish that this here was the same stock as the outer cover, or at least a little thicker than the interior pages, because that makes me worried to pick this up and read it, because this is paper thin. It's going to be very easy to damage this cover, and you can't keep it inside the dust jacket because it'll just slip out eventually. So yeah, you're reading in here and see the stress you're putting on that. That's not good. While you're reading the book, so you're kind of having to juggle the jacket while you're reading the book. So that's kind of a pain. It is signed by both of them, which is nice. And then, yeah, this is just the whole story. I think it's 4 parts. And then another gripe too is, we had backed this campaign, and then with this company, Allegiance Arts here, they were slowly putting books into Walmart, and they even included the Red Rooster in those books. So Walmart, like, they saw this was issue 1's cover, issue 2, issue 3, and I don't know if they have issue 4 in yet, or this might even just be a pin-up here. They could have just been 3 issues maybe, but it's hard to say. But and to rectify that, Mitch did give everyone digital copies to read, so they would at least be able to read this story at the same time as others if they wanted to. But I avoided reading those digital copies so that I would be, entertained and pleased by the story as I was experiencing it in the trade, rather than, me having read the whole thing and then just this coming and sitting on the shelf. So the presentation's really nice. Artist, Mitch has a big artist's heart. The quality really shows in his work here. He's very good at time period, period piece work here. This is definitely, from the olden times here. Around, World War and all that sort of stuff. And he just announced that they're going to be exploring other time periods. The Red Rooster is a hero that's passed on through generations. So we're going to be getting, I think he said, a medieval version and other stuff like that. So that's coming down the pipe. And then, in the back there's people who, they did a pin-up contest, I guess. So there's the winners of that. Order of Dawn. I don't think I'm in here. I think you had to pay for a certain tier to get your name in the back. But yeah, and then there's a write-up on the futures, which I want to read too. But that's only available in the single issues. You can go on Walmart.com and type in Allegiance Arts, I believe, and get them mailed to you if your local shop does not have them. And there was a period where there were stickers on the covers, and I don't think they have their book stickers on there anymore. So, and then he has a new project, The Saints, coming up, which I don't think he's doing any of the art or anything, but it's just something put out by his company here, Allegiance Arts, which it looks good. And then here's the little back end bonuses. Couple Red Rooster stickers here, Allegiance Arts and Red Rooster. And then a couple cards as well. So here's some of the main characters here. And there he is there. So we'll hop back into the box here now. Next we have Swamp Thing number 2. And yeah, Swamp Thing isn't a character I really know a lot about. He just looks cool to me. I have a friend who really loves Swamp Thing, probably one of his favorite characters. But I don't know much about him. But I love the art here. It's very grounded and visceral, and as you guys know, I lean more towards the superhero side of stuff, and this is more horror driven than anything else. And I think this guy has even done Captain America books too. Yeah, Mike Perkins, I believe. I think he was part of the Brubaker run. Yeah, Mike Perkins, right there. So I look forward to reading this and seeing more what it's about. Next we have Man-Bat number 3. And at this point, the Suicide Squad has been tasked to take him down, as well as other people have been tasked to take him down as well. So he's basically fending off 2 different groups of people, and it looks like Harley Quinn is trying to do some therapy here with him. And he's pretty much at this point where he may never be able to change back into Kirk Langstrom again. So he took his last dose with that in mind, and that's kind of where we're at. And his wife left him and all this sort of stuff. Next we have Jenica 2, number 6. I think that this is the last part. I keep saying that every time, but this time I mean it. I think the previous one was only 4 parts, but they think they wrapped it early because of COVID, maybe. I like the art in this one a lot better, though. It's very much like Sophie Campbell's art. I don't think it is, though. No, it's not her art, but this person has done a good job at bringing that feel to this work. Next we have the Impulse comic that I'm still buying, Inkblot number 7. Showed up randomly in my box, and I was like, sure, I'll give it a whirl. And it's just kind of about this cat blipping through different time periods, causing chaos. And I really don't think there's more to it. At least that I have noticed anyway, so. And I think this person was a Coopert Art School graduate. There's a write-up, or there has been in the past, about it in the back. Yeah. Yeah, Coopert School right there. Well, that says Emma Coopert, so maybe Emma Coopert is actually related to the Cooperts. Next we have Rorschach number 7. And I think I'm behind on this series too. I still have a huge stack of books to get through, unfortunately. I've just got way too many books. I'm trying to pare down my collection and stuff, and you'll see in a minute something they picked up from half-price books. But yeah, I don't remember a ton about this other than, there was an artist who got murdered and all this stuff. Here's a Spider-Man homage there. But yeah, this is one of those series that's more about, like, a more realistic drama than, superheroism and that sort of stuff. It's more of a crime-driven book, and it looks like that's Frank Miller there. That's interesting. Man, that's crazy. I'll leave it on that. Okay, so I got a signed book in here. I don't want to show this until last, though. I'll show the stuff I got from my other shop. And then a couple other things, So we got ENIAC number 2 from Bad Idea. And I've got to kind of be ginger with these. ENIAC number 1 is just, kind of a valuable thing, and I don't expect that trend to not continue on for everything else as well, although number 1s do tend to hold value more. I haven't read this yet, so I don't know anything about it. I've actually been waiting for the second, or the not first printings as they call them, to read both of these new Bad Idea books, because I don't want to damage them. I'd rather just slap my first printings and then read the not first printings, since these are on the more limited side of things. So as a collector, that's what I have to think about. So when I get my not first printings, I'll probably be more apt to go through those with you and show you more inside of them. And then this is the other one here, Tankers, number 1. So yeah, same kind of presentation. We got the spot gloss on the cardstock. And yeah, so this one's about like oil tankers and dinosaurs and all sorts of crazy stuff. Like I said, I haven't read it yet, but that's the premise behind it. That there's like oil tankers and robots and dinosaurs. So, just to give you a taste of the artwork and stuff like that here. And here's one of the mechs. Then I got Alien number 1. And this got allocated at my main shop. So I had to pick this up for my secondary shop. And Alien and Predator and all those sort of things, they intrigue me. I don't know much about, like, any of the story or the world or anything other than the imagery. They just kind of took over as like a pop culture parody thing with the chest bursters and all this sort of stuff. So you can't not know about Alien, at least from that, But yeah, the art looks solid. I look forward to reading this and getting into this universe. Next we have Avengers, the Curse of Man thing, which I had bought it solely for this Gleason cover here. And yeah, I don't know anything about this book or the insides. I just wanted that cover, so. But I will show off the inside here. much about Man-Thing. He just pretty much looked at, Marvel's Swamp Thing or whichever one came first, but I always look at him as Marvel Swamp Thing because I know Swamp Thing before I knew about Man-Thing, so we have some Captain America reference here. So yeah, this will be fun. So it's not just, it's got Avengers on here for a reason. It's not just a Man-Thing book, so it looks like they go up against him. And then I got the Gleason version of the Venom cover that I was talking about. So I had previously showed this off the inside on my last video, or my last haul rather, so you can check that out. The main thing to note, there's like 3 or 4 different stories, different art styles, and it's all done where it's all colored in black and white, and then the red is highlighted in the book, so kind of unique. And I think it's looked at like Carnage Through the Ages is the premise, I believe. Then we have this nice big unique book here. Can't even fit on the camera. The Amazing World of Superman. So I saw this in a previews, and it's just pretty much like a time capsule of the early days of Superman. There's a lot of reprinted stories and stuff. And I might do like a spotlight video on it here, but because it's just so large I can't get it all in. But yeah, my main gripe is everything is printed in black and white, and a lot of this is reprints of colorized stories, so that's kind of a bummer. I would have easily paid twice the price or a little more to have all of the comic portion reprinted in color here. So there's all sorts of things in it. It's like a collection of like interesting stories, and then there's little things like How to Draw Superman by Kurt Swan in here, and like family portrait character guide, and then there's things how to make a comic in here. All sorts of things there. So yeah, it's hard to fit it all in frame, but I will probably do a pulled out video showing the contents in greater detail, and then there's a poster in the back that's full color too of the world of Superman, or the map of Krypton rather, my mistake. And then I'll show off these couple of half-price things, and then when I was doing this I realized, oh yeah, I have a autograph to show off, and it's one I'm really excited about. So first off, I wanted to show you, I got this obscure, just random Superman book here. This is Superman number 34 from 1989, and me and my middle brother always shared a joke about this character here, Skyhook, which I won't go into great detail about, but yeah, so we always would say to each other like, oh yeah, it's Skyhook, but I got it just solely to be like, hey, I finally re-got this book, and just to revisit that old random thing me and my brother did here. So yeah, there's like bad people in here. I don't really remember anything about Skyhook other than he's just kind of like this flying ghost monster type of thing. So, yeah. But for 50 cents or whatever, I couldn't pass that up. And then I bought this Man of Steel number 22 here, just solely to take this apart. It's all beat up and everything. I want to do one of my walls. I think I'm going to take all of these inside cover image here as well as the inset posters, and hang them in a spot in my studio here just because I love this period of Superman. Like, I know a lot of people, it's like a cash grab and all this sort of stuff, but for me as a little kid, when this happened here, this was such a huge thing, a very impactful thing for me, and something that certainly inspired me to create and everything like that. So I know a lot of people like to roast at this time period, but I absolutely loved this whole Reign of Superman story and stuff, so I'm gonna get the other ones of these. I already have the actual ones, but I want to get copies just to cannibalize, to pull the poster, the front posters out, and then the middle, and just kind of keep them in a spot, because they are such a huge inspiration to me. So, alright, that being said, well, I do want to note real quick, I got my giant Galactus finally. I will throw my image up on the screen now of this full display here. So, yeah, and I have to move my shelf over. I'm aware it's slightly off-center, the top row there with Doctor Doom and all of them. But it's just how my roof, it's got like a diagonal on it. So everything's at an angle. And I couldn't display that Jack Kirby signed pin set up top without it poking right into the roof. And so I've got to move my entire trade shelf over just a little bit so I can center those other pops and get that stuff more centered. So yes, I'm aware it's slightly off, so try not to let your OCD or whatever you want to call it affect the enjoyment of seeing all of these Fantastic Four pops together with a nice Jack Kirby signature there. Alright, now finally, here's the moment I've been waiting for. This is the Spider-Man number 55, signed by Patrick Gleason here. It's number 135 out of 300. And this is the Dynamic Forces one, so it's got the certificate of authenticity with it. I had pre-ordered this a long, long time ago, and there was a period where I thought I wasn't even going to get it. Because the value of this cover suddenly jumped up so much that I didn't think like the local shops were going to carry it, or at the very least charge it for what was promoted. So I got this for $30. This is signed first printing of Spider-Man 55 by Patrick Gleason, who is one of my newer favorite comic book artists. You know, I loved his work on Batman and Robin and Superman and all that stuff. And he's been working a little bit on Spider-Man here. I think he's going to be doing some more stuff. I know he worked on Green Lantern. I haven't read that, but I just absolutely loved his stuff on Batman and his work with the character of Damian Wayne and stuff with Superman and Jonathan Kent and all that. And so yeah, I absolutely love the guy. So I'm so glad I got this, and that the shop just sold it at the regular price, which was marketed as $30 for it. So super happy I got that. I do want to remind you all that we're still having our Darkseid giveaway Funko going on right now. This pop is sold out online. And yours is still going to be in the mailer that it came in, so I haven't even pulled it out of that mailer yet. So yours is going to be in the little covered thing, and I'm just going to put that in a box and mail that out. But we're going to be doing that drawing. We're going to be doing a live stream. I think it's on the 8th of May or something. It'll be in that video's description, but I will leave a link to that video down below. And basically all you have to do is be subscribed, like, comment on the video. Commenting on the video and being subscribed is the big thing. If you reference that giveaway video in your own video, though, I will enter you in for a second entry, and then, you know, leave a link to your video in that comments on that video so I know. But yeah, so check that out. And then once we hit 2,000, we are going to give away ENIAC #1 first printing. So I do want to make this channel where it's a channel where we do fun things like giveaways and support each other. I do want to mention Gary B, Comic Casual Guy, Comic Guy's video below. I'll leave a link to that too. His initiative is Grow Together to help other collecting channels boost with their numbers and stuff. So, and I'm trying to sub you guys up as much as I can to support too. I don't always have time to watch every time, but I do have time to, easily hit subscribe on your guys' stuff. So, I want the channel to grow. I want the community to grow. Just the collecting community in general. So, and yes, I'm aware, this is kind of an obscure niche because there's the whole whispering and ASMR side to it. And this channel is unique in that, and that's kind of a little bit of a struggle. I'm trying to cater to two different people groups, but that's the uniqueness of this channel, But I thank you all for hanging out and relaxing with me, and as always, comment down below. Let me know what you want to see. Like, comment, subscribe. And as always, you all have a super slumber. Thanks. Bye.